Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to talk about the VLookup function in Microsoft Excel. I'm using Microsoft Office 2016 Home and Student Edition right here. So I have got one spreadsheet open. This spreadsheet has two worksheets within it. So one has student information, the other has examination scores. So the first table that we see here has data for students who are enrolled in an MBA program. As you can see, they have a major of marketing, finance, or IT. Their names are listed here, which city they're from, which state they're from, and the most important column for us today is going to be this column here, column A, which has a student ID. So the student ID numbers that I've put in there are 12001 all through to 12009. Now this is the first table that we have on the first worksheet, which is called student information. Now there's a second worksheet here, which is called examination scores. Now this contains the results of the examination that these same MBA students have given in the last term, for example. So the subjects they had was advertising, accounting, systems, operations, and human resources. So student ID 12004 scored a total of 55 marks out of 100 in the subject systems, and that same person scored 76 out of 100 in human resources. So this is what this table is telling us. Now this has the scores, this worksheet, while this worksheet has the details of each student. Now our goal is to get the total score of each student into this worksheet here. Okay, so let's start. So I go into the second sheet called examination scores, and I create a new column called total. Okay, I insert a function here called sum, and under the formula section there's a auto sum feature here. So I click on that. It's simple as that, and the formula is equal to sum open bracket a2 is to f2. Now this is not what we're looking for. There's one small change we need to do in this formula. We don't want the student ID to be part of the sum formula. So we just reduce the blue box and started from B2 to F2. Now when I hit enter, it's going to total these cells. Okay, so if you can see down here, the sum appears to be 294. We've got 294 here. Now I drag this down so that the formula populates in all the cells, and we've got the totals for each student ID. Now see, there's a little error that's come up here. What does it say? It says the formula in this cell refers to a range that has additional numbers adjacent to it, which means that when these numbers, we have done a sum of this, while there is an additional cell right here which also has numbers, but we don't seem to have added it to our formula. So Excel is telling us this may have been an error on your part, but it's not. This is what we intended to do. We just wanted to total these cells. So we'll just remove this warning. It's not relevant to us. So we click on this, we say ignore error. Okay, and then that little green color at the top left of our cell has disappeared for all these cells. Right, now we have a total here. Let's go back to student information and create a new column here called total marks. Now the whole idea of this video is to explore the VLookup function. So the VLookup function is basically a vertical lookup, which means that these are the vertical columns, and in one of these columns it's going to find one value and look for the same value in another table and return a value to us. That's what VLookup does. So let's insert that function. So to do that, again, say you're on the home tab first. You go to the formulas tab, click on insert function, and you type in the function you're looking for. In this case, it's VLookup. And you click go. And there it is. VLookup is right there. You click OK. And this brings up a dialog box called function arguments. This is like a help for us to create the formula inside the cell. It just makes it easy for us. So say lookup value. What is the lookup value? The lookup value is the common value in the sheet 1, worksheet 1 and worksheet 2, which is in our case student ID. So let's click on this arrow, select student ID, and then go back to the function arguments by clicking on this button here. Now table array. Table array is where is the lookup table which table do you want to look up? So then you click on this up arrow, go to the second sheet, and then you make the selection of this entire sheet. Now, if you look at this, it has columns A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So our information that we want to bring to this first sheet is in column G. Now, that column is numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's the seventh column in our table, right? We need to remember that for the next step. And we click on this, we go back here. So now you can see the lookup value is in A2. The table array is in the sheet examination scores, and then the range is from A1 to G10. Next, we need to put the column index number. This is the number of the column where we want the value. So that column we counted is column G. So that column G is the seventh column, right? And range lookup. So what is range lookup? It's got an explanation here. Range lookup is a logical value to find the closest match in the first column, sorted in ascending order, equal to true. So if you wanted to get you a logical value or to find the closest match, to find the closest match in the first column, you do true. And if you want to find an exact match, you type in false. So we want an exact match to our lookup value. So we do false. Now see here, it's already given us the value, 294. So that's going to be the result of our function. We click on OK. We've got the value 294 here. Now we want to populate the same function or the same formula in all the rows below here, right? So normally I would just take this, drag it down. But when I do that, the whole table that we have referenced keeps changing over here. If you see, I want the table to be A1 to G10, but it's now become A2 to G11, A3 to G12, A6 to G15. So to avoid that, I have to put a $ before and after the cell reference. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to do F4 over here, select this and click on F4. Now see, there's a $ which has gone before G and before 10, $ before A and before 1. Now I hit enter. When I drag this downwards like that and populate the formula in all the cells, all of them will have the same range. See, they all have A1 to G10, A1 to G10, and that's because I put in the $ value at the beginning over there within the range parameters. Okay, so we've got this got these values from examination scores using the VLookup function. Now I just want to show you how you can do the same thing by actually typing in the formula. So we used the function arguments dialog box to do it the last time. This time we'll do it by typing in the formula. So I'll just delete this and I'll start typing the formula. So you have to start any function with the operator equal to. Then you type in the actual function, VLookup, open parentheses. You put in the lookup value. I take the cursor of the mouse, I click on this student ID, I put in a comma. Then I go to examination scores. I select the entire range over here. I click on comma again. Then I enter the column number, which is 7. And then I do a comma and I type in false. These are the parameters of that function. I close the parentheses. I hit enter. We've got the same result here. Now again, what I need to do is I need to select this whole thing here and I need to hit F4. After I do that, I click on that cell and drag it down. Look, now we can verify if we've got the correct number. So look at Josh Martin. His student ID is 12005. We've got a total marks of 331. If you look at his scores over here, 12005, 331. Now look at one more student ID and verify if the numbers are correct. So let's look at 12002. Total marks that we've got is 352. If you look at the examination scores for 12002, you've got 352 there. So that verifies that we've got the right information through our VLookup function. So thanks everyone for joining me on this video, and I hope to see you right here on my YouTube channel for future videos. Thank you.